There are many products in the market that let you track your stuff like Apple or Samsung tags, but these products have to depend on the network of the phones of their brands, so in many areas they are not going to work, and they also don't have real-time connectivity or live tracking of location. The JioFind and JioFind Pro are a different category of products because they have GPS and they rely on Jio's cellular network, so they are going to give you much more accurate and real-time tracking across almost all of India. The smaller JioFind comes in at 1500 rupees while the JioFind Pro is 2500 rupees, and I think that this is a really good pricing for devices like these because they are even cheaper than many of the tag-like products. Let's see what you get inside the box, and aside from the device and the charging cable, JioFind comes with a sticker, but the JioFind Pro doesn't need that because it has magnets. Both of these devices come with a dummy SIM inside the box, and these devices will only work if you have a SIM with a Jio connection because the dummy SIMs are actually going to get linked to your Jio SIM and your Jio data plan is going to be shared between your phone and these devices. I found that some people are disappointed with this, but I think that this just makes sense, and this also really simplifies the data sharing and paying for the plan. You insert the SIM into these devices and then scan the QR code given in the box for activation, and then it says that it takes 4 hours to activate. You may find that you are not able to operate the power button directly from over the flap, but the thing is that you have to open it and then you have to press it, and I think that they designed it like this so you don't accidentally turn this tracker off. You have to know that this device can only be linked to one phone number, and then the device cannot be relinked to another number. This is done for security purposes, and these are very affordable devices, so I am okay with that. You can of course check out the most recent location using the JioFind app, and it also shows you the path that the tracker has taken with all the stops listed, so the basic tracking function does work quite well. Both of these devices also have microphones in them, and you can record the audio of their surroundings. The sound quality is not great, but it will still be better than having nothing in an emergency situation.
Like you request your recording and then it is going to like fetch the audio around the device and then like create a recording and then send it to your app. So let's see how it does.
Now, unlike your phone, the JioFind is a movement-based GPS device, and it also has to save its battery and data, so until you move your JioFind, it is not going to update its location, and it's just going to show you the last location that it moved to. You may see an old timestamp and think that it is not working, but it just needs to move, and other devices of this category have the same behavior. I was told that it needs open sky to work, but it did update the location for me at least once without that, and I mostly tested it in the car. So with all of that in mind, the tracking of these devices did work well, and even when I had taken a somewhat wrong turn on a road, it detected that, but I had stopped for a while and it didn't show me going around the circle properly. So this may not always be 100% accurate on your minute movements, but it does do a solid job of tracking the basic directions, and you can even access these trip logs much later using the app. You can also set geo-fencing areas, so if your devices leaves or enter a selected area, you will get a notification, and I tested it a few times and it worked properly. We also have overspeeding alerts on these devices, and currently they are set to 80 km per hour, and you cannot change that figure, but I was told that they may update it in the future and allow you to set the limits. The JioFind has a battery life of 3 to 4 days, while the bigger JioFind Pro comes with a claim of a 30-day battery, and I found this figure to be quite accurate because after 16 days, the battery on the JioFind Pro is still at 54%. They don't have any subscription fee for the first year that you buy this, but after that they will charge you 599 rupees annually, and I think that is actually lower than many other tracking services. The magnet on the JioFind Pro is very strong, and even if you stick it to the outside of a car, it should not fall off easily. So if you were ever planning to spy on someone like they show in TV shows, you might be able to do that with this, but you shouldn't do that because it is illegal, and I am not promoting doing this. Do give this video a thumbs up if you are planning to track people without their consent. These devices can of course be useful for keeping track on your vehicle. I have a big dump truck for my business, and this is perfect for knowing that my staff is not misusing it, and you can also track your driver, put the small JioFind in a kid's backpack, and there are many legal ways of using it. It's also so affordable that you can use it for illegal purposes, but I of course don't take any responsibility if you get caught. One potential overlap with the JioFind Pro is that Jio already sells a car tracker that connects to the OBD port of your car, and that won't need to be charged as that is powered by your car, and it should also give you a lot more information about your car. But the JioFind Pro is more affordable and easier to use, so it also depends on what your use case is. There are many negative reviews for this on Amazon, but I think that those are from people who couldn't figure out how to use this, and I think that Jio could also explain its limitations a bit better. For example, it took me a long time to figure out that I had to move it before it would show me the updated location, and that the old timestamp is how these devices work. It also showed me that I was in Andhra Pradesh until I moved it, so these are not big issues, but some polishing and explanation could help the people buying these, because this is a very different kind of device for India. But overall, these devices can be recommended, and only a company with the kind of network reach that Jio has could execute a product like this. I'll have the links to check them out in the description. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.